Hey guys, the Masked Saiyan back again to review more of Goku's various Super Saiyan forms. This time we have here Ultra Instinct. Now, yeah, people can argue that it is not a form, that it is a technique, which in a way is true. The manga did show that. Even Master Roshi could utilize this Ultra Instinct technique. However, you can also argue that Goku has to transform in order to use the technique, and these forms are different ways of showing it to use the technique. So this one, this figure is from the Emoving line where it has a detachable head. We'll get into it in more detail afterwards. This is Ultra Instinct Sign or Omen, which is basically the level before the Mastered Ultra Instinct form in this case. So this figure is from the Dragon Ball versus Omnibus line, and it's the same line as the Super Saiyan 3 Goku we reviewed in the first episode. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Ultra Instinct. Currently, it is the most powerful form slash technique that Goku has in his arsenal. Um, he just it's more of a calming presence, especially in the manga where he isn't triggering like Super Saiyan, for instance, is triggered by anger and rage, but Ultra Instinct is the opposite, where he needs to be calm and collected and just let his instincts flow. And he could even close his eyes and um, dodge attacks. And so it's really cool. It really is instinctual. Now, in the English dub, they call it autonomous Ultra Instinct, which I'm not sure why they're including that autonomous word in front of it when, I mean, instinct already entails that he moves on instinct. He's not consciously moving. Of course, um, he does do various attacks. He did the Kamehameha to Kefla in the anime while he was in the Omen form. He also did various beams and attacks to Jiren while in the Mastered Ultra Instinct form. So, I mean, he can be conscious. It's not like he's just completely unconscious and he's just fighting without realizing it. I mean, he is dodging attacks subconsciously, but then he starts attacking consciously. So we may understand it more once the series comes back, maybe like in the manga where they'll explain a little bit more in further detail. But yeah, all we know is that he has to be more calm and collected in order to uh, get into this state, rather than just pure rage and like all the other Super Saiyan forms, um, and that he is super powerful. And in the anime, he obtained this form by well, what was it? He threw the spirit bomb to Jiren, and Jiren pushed it back, and it looked like he just was annihilated by his own spirit bomb. But then he somehow resurrected as Ultra Instinct. I mean, it was really cool, but that was completely different in the manga where he just pretty much observed Master Roshi doing it, and then he realized that's something that he can do too. So, but yeah. Also in the manga, when he first became Ultra Instinct, he was very slim. Although they were drawing the bodies more slim and super, but in the Moro arc, he started to have a more buff appearance, like in the anime, which I prefer. Yeah, I mean, Super Saiyan God form should kind of be the one to be reserved for that slim, godlike appearance rather than the whole, you know, buff forms of all the other Super Saiyan forms. But I digress. So these forms, I mean, I think Ultra Instinct is so awesome. It's just so cool, and how it basically is the base um, form hairstyle, but just a little bit tweaked. You know, the pointiness goes a little bit up, but that round part of Goku's base form hair still remains. You know how in Super Saiyan all his hair goes up, it's just boom, you know, spiked up. But when he's in base form, he has just bits of rounded parts of his head, and also his eyes are silver. So that's why I think the Omen form looks really cool, because he has his base form black hair, but then his eyes are silver with pupils in it. And once he becomes mastered, you know, he has silver hair to match his eyes. But I think the Omen form looked really cool with the whole black hair with silver eyes. I just think that showed a little bit of a difference. You know, like how Super Saiyan 4, which we'll get to in a future episode, has black hair and yellow eyes with pupils. You know, it just looks cool to have a contrast of colors rather than, you know, Super Saiyan God having red hair and red eyes, and Super Saiyan Blue having blue hair and blue eyes, and here we go with Master Ultra Instinct, silver hair with silver eyes. Although it still looks cool, but that's why I thought Omen looked really unique with black hair, but then he has silver eyes. But anyways, yeah, and it's funny how in the anime, anytime he turns Ultra Instinct, he doesn't have a shirt on. I mean, in the anime, when he was Omen form, he usually had his blue undershirt on, but whenever he's mastered Ultra Instinct, yeah, his shirt's torn off. You know, he's ready to fight without a shirt. It's funny how, like, in the anime, when the shirt's off, you know, they're gonna be serious, you know. Jiren, you know, his shirt was off, he was super serious, full power Jiren. We had Vegeta, you know, his shirt was completely off when he became Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. It's just, yeah, I guess that's synonymous with, you know, shirt being off. We're gonna fight serious and to the max potential of our ability. So, let's get right down into the figures themselves, shall we? So, let's review. Okay, so here we have the Emoving line Ultra Instinct Omen or Sign Goku. With his shirt completely torn off. Usually in this state, he has his blue undershirt on, but because this is a moving line, you can actually change his head. We'll change it in a minute after we talk a little bit about the figure. He stands actually perfectly fine without his support foot stand, but I like having it on, and plus it's not that distracting. And most of the figures in this form has tears, major tear where the kneecap is from his left leg, and a tear right here. His boots have the red lining with the yellow boot laces. And he's muscular all throughout. People have mentioned that this figure in particular seems to be a lot shinier than other figures, so it just looks really plasticky, which that is true, but I mean, the details, I mean, there's shading all around, details look great, and I mean, his hair is awesome. I love Ultra Instinct Goku's hair. Yeah, he is a little bit plastic looking, but I mean, the detail and the colors and just the sculpt looks amazing. And he has the exact same head sculpt, but with silver hair. And that shows that he mastered the form or technique. Yeah, so you can see that his hair, like the pointy parts go up kind of like a Super Saiyan, but then he still has that flat rounded areas of his hair to kind of show that it's still a base form in a way too. And so moving on to the other Mastered Ultra Instinct figure of Goku. This one's from the Dragon Ball versus Omnibus line, and he's in a dynamic pose. I think this is a cool pose, but I don't know, there's something about his mouth. It just, I think the teeth are a little bit too full. I can't really explain. Kind of looks like he's wearing a mouth guard. But, I mean, it shows that he's angry and that he wants to beat whoever his opponent is, Jiren or Moro. Shading all throughout. Major shading and the indentions of his muscles. Colors are great. And he has a clear stand. He can stand without it as well. So we put both Ultra Instinct Gokus together. You can see that the pants a little bit more orange on this one, lighter orange here, and yeah, I guess this one does look a little bit shinier, giving it that plastic appearance, but I just love that stance, that sinister look, where he's just saying, you know, you don't mess with me, you know. And this one, you know, he's just really angry, ready to just give a beating. But overall, I like them both, and it's a great addition to any collection. And I would like to know your thoughts on this form or technique. And if you prefer the Ultra Instinct Omen or Sign, or the Master Ultra Instinct look. And if you have any questions regarding these figures, I feel as though I explained for the most part. You know, they both can stand on their own, and foot stands don't seem to be that much of a distraction, so I would probably keep them on just so that they don't accidentally fall over. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.